Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Took a couple of days off, been really busy. I've just been uh, really analyzing, the markets. But I'm here, I'm back, and I'm not going nowhere. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for post notifications. Anyways, let's get this started, man. Let's talk about the crypto market, the state of the market, and what's going on. All right. So first off, okay, we got Bitcoin at 107. We got Ethereum at 3,700. XRP's at 239. BNB over 1,000. Solana's at 174. So the whole cryptocurrency market is down. There's no way to beat behind the bush. It looked like our fear and greed is at 36. Uh, we're at a 3.6 trillion market cap, for the whole cryptocurrency market as of right now. So yeah, there's the whole market. Um, is down. So basically what's been going on is that there's a government shutdown in case if people have been under a rock. We got government shutdown. The jobs, they're saying that there's really no data to go off of right now because this is a speculative market. Like I'll say at least 85% of the cryptocurrency market is speculative, you know what I mean? Speculation market, but what's going on is we got okay, the government shutdown, that's going on. Then we also got what else? And you got to think people that's working for the government, they're not getting paid right now. Any government job because of the government shutdown. Think about people going to work every day knowing that they're not getting paid. They're going to eventually get paid once the government opens back up. So that's some bad news right there. That's why the whole cryptocurrency market is at standstill. But of course, we there's probably a couple of cryptos that are maybe in agreeing a little bit, but overall the market is not looking good right now. The whole cryptocurrency market. All right. But let me see here. So yeah, we got Bitcoin at 107. Another thing is that wanted to bring up. Okay, I heard that in November there's not going to be a FOMC meeting this month. I don't know if I'm wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But that's what I heard. There's no FOMC meeting in November, so we're not going to really have much data to go by. Then we got the government shutdown, but I think that eventually the government is going to open back up, and then over time the market is going to rebound, and big money is going to get back into the markets. Um, but as of right now, everything is at standstill. Whoever can DCA in, you can DCA or another strategy that people use. Hey, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. But I'm quite sure there's going to be people who's just going to decide to sell and just go cash, sell everything, and just wait for the market to bottom out again. That's another good strategy. Or especially if you don't have the extra funds to DCA, because a lot of us been DCA in for the last like year, right? So that's a strategy to use. If you're holding crypto but you don't have the liquidity to buy more in the dips, that can be frustrating. You know, so a plan B is to sell everything, go cash, and just sit back and wait. Sit back and wait like a shark. Smell that blood in the water and just wait for the market to come back down to the bottom. But nobody knows what the bottom is. And also Bitcoin. Um, okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is at 107 right now. Bitcoin is trying to make us. It's like Bitcoin is trying to make up his mind. Okay, how far down should I go? Should I go down to 106? Should I go down to 105? Let's take a look at the 1 week chart for Bitcoin. Okay, about a week ago, it looked like Bitcoin was at 115, and then it dipped all the way back down to 106. So it's looking for levels of support. Look like yeah, Bitcoin is definitely looking for a new level of support. But if Bitcoin does somehow go below, crash below 100K, that's not going to be good. That means there's no level of support anymore. It's going to lose all of its support. And then what's going to happen in the altcoins are going to react off that even more. Then we're going to see more flash crashes with alts. And another thing is that with Bitcoin, if you've been in crypto long enough, um, as far as, as long as Bitcoin is looking for a level of support, to bounce off of, altcoins are not going to do that well. We're going to just continue to trade sideways and be more in the downtrend, for alts. So until Bitcoin can find a new level of support and bounce off that, Altcoins are not going to do too much. We're just going to be in limbo. So as retail investors, we got to do what's best for us. Whether you want to sell off and go cash, or just wait for everything to go down, or if you are one of those people, who got that extra liquidity, you got that extra cash on the side to buy these dips. This is the perfect opportunity to buy these dips if you got the extra cash, but not everybody don't. Um, Even me, man, I had to sell a couple of cryptos that I was holding. I had to sell them off so I can have that extra liquidity, cash on the side. Just wait for some of these coins to go back down and then buy back in, because it really sucks if you're holding if all your liquidity is tied up in crypto and you don't have any more funds or cash, whatever, to buy the dips. That could be frustrating. So that's another good strategy. But anyways, like I said, none of this financial advice. Definitely do your own research, and you just got to study these markets. And another thing I wanted to talk about is that the whole 4 year cycle thing. You know what? I don't think the 4 year cycle. Let's forget about that. That's over and done with now. I've said it before. This cycle is different. The traditional, like when a bull run is over, then we go into the bear market. I don't think that's happening anymore. We're definitely not in the bear market now. Because if we was in a bear market, we would have been. The whole cryptocurrency market would just literally just go to shit. Like we'll see coins crash like 70, 80, 90%. If you've been in crypto long enough, you know what a the end of the bull cycle is. You know what a real. I've seen real crashes in crypto. Okay, this is not even like a crash. Like I'm looking at a lot of alts. We're not even flash crashing right now. The market is more in a downtrend, but we're not flat. Now the other week, now that was a flash crash. The other week, when the market did the big dump, that was a flash crash. Like crypto's going down 20, 30%. But an actual crypto, like a real disaster, real crash, I've seen those. I know what it looked like. So we're definitely not in the bear market. Like I said, you got to been in crypto long enough to know that. I was around during the 2021 cycle. I was around during the 2018 cycle, so I know what an actual. Me personally, I know when the bull run is actually over. But like I said, um, I think between now, we're in November now, then we got December. We literally just got 2 more months, and 2025 is over. We'll be in 2026, but I think this whole thing is going to go into 2026. The whole, traditional, like I said, traditional 4 year cycle, I think that's over and done with, because the whole all the institute, we got different things at play. We got the institutions, the banks, all these regulations. Then everything is global now. See, it's different from back in 2021 and 2018 or 17 and all that. It's a different ball game now. Back then, there was no institutions in crypto. There was no banks. There was no governments in crypto back then. It was just retail investors and whales. That's all it was. Crypto was wild, wild west. Back then, crypto still kind of is, wild, wild west. They're still trying to figure this out, but now we got regulations that, the government passing bills and all that. So, like I said, so this, they already said before the actual real crash, Bitcoin is going to hit at least about 100 and between 180 to 200K at least. You know what I mean? At least. But anyways, that is my take. Uh, don't take nothing I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Just know how to read the markets and know how to read between the lines. But anyways, take a look at some of the coins. See what's going on with XPR network. All right, this is an XPR network. This is definitely one of my top utilities. If you haven't seen none of my other XPR network videos, definitely go check them out. This is a real blockchain supercomputer. But yeah, XPR network. I think over time they're going to get more listings. I already know Coinbase and Binance is probably looking at these guys. But anyways, but yeah, it's still up 490% for the year. I remember when I first did my first video on XPR network, it was at 2018, and that was about a year ago. You know, about close to a year ago when it did that. Um, but let me see here. Just 1 second here. Okay, so yeah, so XPR network. This is the if you're already holding, definitely opportunity. to load up on more. Like I said, I'm already predicting by 2026 sometime we can see a 5 cent between 1 to 5 cents XPR easily. They're going to eventually they're getting mass adoption. The government is using these guys as well, for XPR. So it's a lot to talk about. But yeah, I definitely believe there's going to be some big things going on with this project. They're already ISO compliant and everything. So yeah, XPR network, that's one of our top dogs right there. Let's take a look at also the meme coin Manu. Some of us are still, I know I'm still holding Manu. I'm holding a pretty nice position now. We've been in a downtrend for Manu. I've been constantly just picking up the dips. We're at a 21 million market cap right now. Um, so yeah, like I said, the whole market is down. Okay, we're down, look like 50% for the month now. We're definitely. I'm looking at the 1 week. One month, we're definitely oversold now. I know about a month ago we had that big pump when they got listed on one of those exchanges. Then we came all the way back down. But ever since then, I've just been loading up. I'm thinking our next major pump is going to be nice. It's going to be juicy, just because of the amount of tokens that I'm holding for Manu. We still got a good community, man. Go to Dex Tools. We're at over 30. I believe we're at over. Let me see here for Manu. Yeah, we're at 30. How many holders? Yeah, we're at 34,000 holders now. 1.2 million in liquidity. So yeah, Manu is definitely going to be one of the top meme coins this cycle. I keep saying it. I'm telling you, the next time we see a major pump, I believe it's going to be a big one. Once when this whole cryptocurrency market, makes a turnaround, definitely, we've got a good community for this meme coin. If the thing about Manu, we only need this coin to do just a fraction of what SHIB did back in 2021. Just a fraction, and that'll be big. Like a 1 billion. We get up to a 1 billion market cap eventually one day. But I think in 2026 is definitely gonna be our year. Let's see what happens. We still got between now and 2026, where we got 2 months left. So a lot is gonna happen in crypto then. A lot is definitely going to happen in crypto between these next couple of months. And also, this is definitely a shakeout. This is also a shakeout. Um, People who really know crypto are only just going to be the ones that's going to make it through this. There's a lot of new people in crypto. They just not don't understand the market. They're following other crypto YouTubers saying that it's over, saying that we're now in the bear market, which is we're not in the bear market. Like I said, if we was in the bear market, cryptos would be down literally close to 100%. Like we'll literally see like, like 50 to like 90% dumps in like 24 hours. So yeah, we're definitely not in a so-called bear market. Like I said, the whole 4 year cycle thing is it's a different ball game now with the whole global. What they're doing out there, manipulating the market now. A lot of the big money, and then on top of that, then with bad news, with the whole government shutdown, then the job reports and all that. But like they said, Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation and government corruption. But anyways, that is my update. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Happy. This is actually my first video I'm putting out for November. 'Cause like I said, I took a few days off. Busy, but yeah. But I'm back at it. But anyways, hey, if you're new to the channel, you want to get over to the Patreon. The link will be at the bottom left. We got it going on over there. We got our 24/7 chat group. I'm about to be having more content coming over there covering more low cap utilities and memes. Hey, for only 15 bucks, definitely tell your friends, family about the Patreon. But yeah, it beats everybody else who's charging 50 to $100, for their Discord, Patrons or whatever. Definitely get on over there, and you can also see whenever I'm buying a new coin or whatever. You can also see what I'm doing and everything. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Um, that's my update on the whole cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and everything. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see if Bitcoin is gonna go below 105, or let's see if Bitcoin is heading back down to 100K. But like I said, if Bitcoin dips goes back to like 100,000, or even go back below 100K, that's not going to be a good sign. There's nobody's not going to know where the support level is, and that's going to be bad for alts. So as long as we stay over 100K, we can look like we'll kind of survive. But let's see where we go next week. It's going to be very interesting to see what the market does come this coming a week, Monday and Tuesday. But anyways, I'm going to stay posted. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Definitely the link will be at the bottom left for the private Patreon group. I'm going to get out of here. See you guys in the next one. Peace.